Hi, my name is Patrick and welcome to Word Made Easy. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to adjust your margins in Microsoft Word. So method number 1, we need to first go to Layout at the top of the ribbon, click that once, then click Margins, and we have now 5 preset margins to choose from. Most documents, if not all documents, will open up as normal. This is a normal preset. You can see this here and here. To activate this ruler bar, not a problem. We click on View and then click Ruler. So going back to Layout and Margins, we can now select Narrow, and you'll notice that the ruler changes. Okay, it narrows the margin, not only on the left, but on the right and at the top. By going to Margins again, we've got Moderate, which again changes the margins, and Wide, which as you can tell means that we cannot type into these sections that are colored grey. And the last one is Mirrored, which is only useful if your document is landscape, which is mine is not. So going back to normal, if I type in hello, we can notice that it's a standard normal template that you'll find in a Microsoft Word document. By clicking Margins now to Narrow, it shifts to where the edges and the intersections of these margins are. Okay, now if that changes to Moderate, it does exactly the same, and to Wide, it will change once more. So that is method 1, but method 2 will give you some more customization. Method number 2, we're going to add a new element of customization to our margins. So click Layout, click Margins, but this time we're going to click at the bottom, Custom Margins. A new dialog window will open up, and you'll notice that the measurements reflect the type of margins you saw in normal, 2.54 centimeters. So at the bottom is what I think is the most important element of this dialog. It's the preview section. It literally gives you a preview of what this page will look like after you've made customizations to your margin. So if I adjusted to make my left margin wider, you'll notice down here as I get to 4.5 centimeters that the margin has increased. That's really useful because it gives me a clear indication of what it's going to look like before I click that OK button. Let's say, for example, I also wanted my right margin to be 4.5 centimeters. This will be represented as well. Of course, my current page is portrait, so I'm going to keep it that way. If, for example, you wanted a preview on what it looked like in landscape, you can click it once, and of course here you can see it's changed to landscape. But you'll notice that the top and bottom are represented as the previous left and right. So bear that in mind. Now, the next piece of information is really crucial. Down at the bottom it says Apply To. At the moment, it means this section. Now, there's a couple of things we need to think about here. Do we want this margin customization to reflect the entire document? Do we want it to reflect this section of the document or any new pages after this document? So if you're like me and just want all the margins to look the same, I'm going to click Whole Document. Click that once. Now, if I click OK, it's going to apply this customization to every single page that's in my document. If I only wanted it to impact pages that are after this page, then I click this point forward. I've only got one page on here, but for example, if I wanted page 2, it will take on these margins going forward. This section indicates that if your document is broken into sections, then it'll only apply to this section. I'm assuming you don't have sections and you're purely looking at whole document and this point forward. I'm going to select whole document. Now there's one last thing I've got to tell you about. That is Set as Default. This will impact all future documents that you create. It won't impact old ones that you've already created and customized. It will only impact what your margins will look like for all future created blank documents. So just be really mindful. If you choose a selector, that is what is going to happen. I don't want that, so I'm just going to click OK. As you can see, my margin has increased on the left and on the right. So for the third method, I'm going to utilize the ruler that you can find at the top and at the left. If you can't see it, not a problem. Click View and just make sure it is ticked. Now this is really important because this adds a new layer of customization to your margins. If, for example, you're really detailed and want it to be exactly the way you like it, which is fine, I'm going to take my cursor to the top until I can see the left margin show tip. Now I'm going to left click, and you'll notice that there's a grey line that's gone straight down my document. So if I move my mouse to the right, you'll notice that the margin increases, and if I move it to less, it decreases. Let's say I'm satisfied with that and I let go. You'll notice here hasn't changed. it won't do. It'll only change if you make the changes. So like last time, highlight it until it says the show tip of right margin, left click until you notice that gray line coming down your document, and then make the amount of changes you want. The last one is going up over to your top margin. And again, as last time, wait for the show tip to show top margin, left click until you see this horizontal line this time, and then you're going to maneuver that accordingly. And of course, the last margin is your bottom margin, which can be located at the bottom of your document. Again, left click, hold down until you see the gray line, and then you can move that any way you want. There you have it, guys. That's 3 ways to adjust your margins in Microsoft Word. If this or any way has helped you in this video, please give it a like. It helps me a great deal in the algorithm. And if you want to support me and in helping people, give them quick fixes and tutorials in Microsoft Word, then click the subscribe button. It really does help the channel. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time.